Happy Friday. Hey, Samara, sunny side up. Oh, I'm glad you're excited. Hey, it's been a crazy, stressful day, to say the least. But I'm here with a smile on my face. And we are going to do this. We are going to do it regardless. Now, regardless of how stressful my day was, we're doing it. Hold on, I got to pop a soda and I don't want to hurt you guys' ears. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to stop my camera for a second so I can take a sip. And my husband can walk by. Oh, he's not walking by. He was just letting the little doggy in. Your ears, I'm so sorry. It was my Coca-Cola. Just to prove it was a soda, you know. Next thing you'll know, people will say, she stopped her camera because she opened an alcohol beverage and she tried telling everybody it was a soda. Oh my goodness. The nerve. Oh, I don't even want to talk about my stress. I don't. I'm glad we're doing a crime live, so I do not have to talk about my stress because it will make me probably cry. And I don't feel like crying on camera. So I'm going to give it a few more seconds. I know a couple of people are live to let people come in. And then we'll start. This was an interesting case. Drunk while live, yeah, right? This was an interesting case. It was to me, I found it a sad case. I have never heard of this case before. I was browsing for Halloween crime lives and I came across this case. And like I've told you guys in the past that I could grab any case I want, but I try to grab cases that I find interesting, and I hope that makes it interesting for you guys. So sunny side up, you've heard of this case. It is definitely a creepy case. It's still an unsolved case, although it's unsolved, but they feel like it is solved. Now, my personal opinion, I don't think it's solved at all, and we'll get to that at the end. Miss Michelle, I saw that you asked for help in Serendipity's live. I answered you, but you didn't answer me back, and I know it was crazy in there. I don't know what you need help with, dear. Hey, Lady K. Yes, like I said in my last live, no matter what struggles we go through, no matter how much stress we have, we get through it. I'm going to shut off my Discord because I'm sure if I can hear that beeping, you guys can hear that beeping, and that is going to get annoying. So let me close out of that. So Miss Michelle, I must have missed it. I didn't know what happened. Oh, so you were asking for help on what was going on in Sarah's? Actually, it's kind of funny because right when you messaged me, I had just gotten in there too. So I missed like half of it, so I'm not even quite sure what the whole live was about. And I don't watch a lot of people anymore, so I'm kind of in the dark. I'm in the dark. So let's get started. on my first Halloween case. I was thinking, you know how Stephanie Harlow has Har- Harloween? I was thinking, I was like, it's kind of funny. I need a little catchy phrase. So today I was talking to my kids and I was like, I need a catchy phrase for Halloween. And they know my YouTube name and they're like, Moonoween. And I started laughing so hard. They're like, it's a Moonoween because your last name on YouTube is Moon. It was so funny. So let's start the first Moonoween crime live. Right? My kids were cracking me up today. They actually put a smile on my face. So, as you guys can see, this case is the Cindy Long case. Cindy Long grew up in South Korea. In 1995, at the age of 15, she moved to Springfield, Virginia. Her mother and her family stayed in South Korea, but she came to live with her aunt and uncle. She loved living in America. She said she felt she had more freedom here. Cindy Long was a petite girl. She was only 5 feet. Hold on. Wookie, no. My dog is trying to. No. My dog has not been neutered. He's trying to do something to my leg right now. Stop. No. Go grab your stuffed animal. Okay. And so she is a petite girl. She was only 5 feet tall. Oh my God. 110 pounds. She loved school. She got great grades. She also held 2 part-time jobs, working in a restaurant. She was a go-getter. On Halloween, October 31st, 2001, she would have been 21 years old. Hey, Remy. It was on a Wednesday in 2001. So it was a school night, but it was still Halloween. And she wanted to hang out and dress up and go out with her girlfriends. So Cindy, her 2 friends, Lisa and Stacy, wanted to go out to their favorite nightclub called Players Nightclub. They were throwing a Halloween party. Cindy dressed up as a bunny. She was wearing bunny ears, a white skirt that had a bunny on it. She also had a red knee-high length hooded coat and brown suede knee-high boots. Cindy, Lisa, and Stacy partied till about 2 a.m., then went to a friend's house to play video games. A few hours later, in the early morning of November 1st, around 4 a.m., Stacy drove Cindy home, dropped her off at home. Cindy waved goodbye, and Stacy said she didn't watch Cindy go into her house, though. So basically, Cindy got out of the car. Stacy was in the car. Cindy waved bye to her, and Stacy drove off. It was 4 in the morning. She never watched her go into the house, but she figured she was going into the house. Cindy was a little intoxicated when she was dropped off. This was the last time she was seen. Due to school and work, friends and family were not concerned until November 6th, and that's when they reported her missing. On November 6th, police searched Cindy's apartment. Police determined that Cindy did make it into her home because the backpack she was using was found in the bedroom. Her fake eyelashes were found in the bathroom. Her cell phone was found in her backpack. Cindy always had her cell phone. The only thing not found was her costume that she was wearing and her purse. Now, Cindy is a typical 21-year-old in college working. Everybody knows how it is. I'm in my 40s and I love to have my cell phone on me at all times. It's the most convenient thing. If you break down, if you get locked out of your house, I think everybody always has their cell phones on them. Um, Martha Moxley died on Mischief Night in the late 70s. I will talk about that case till somebody else does. Oh, okay. Um, so they found it really odd that she didn't have her cell phone, but they didn't panic because it looked like she left on her own. There was no forced entry. There was nothing disturbed in her house other than her backpack, her phone, and her eyelashes were there. Her costume wasn't and her purse wasn't. But Cindy liked to, there was a store down the street from her house. It was a 24-hour store. And she liked to go there in the evenings. Late at night, she would go get a snack, some water, a soda, anything like that. So they just assumed that she did come home. She started to get undressed, realized that maybe she was hungry. She was a little intoxicated. Everybody knows when you're intoxicated, you like to have a midnight snack. So they do believe that she did leave her house on her own. They did not find her keys either. They did not find her credit cards. They did not find her license. So obviously she took her purse with her outfit and probably went to the store. Friends say some that she liked to walk to the 24-hour store down the street. They think she was planning on only being gone a minute and didn't need to bring her cell phone. A few days after Cindy disappeared, a witness came forward with a chilling story. The witness said that she saw a woman matching Cindy's appearance, was seen crying and yelling for help in Philly, the Chinatown district, which is about 200 miles away from Cindy's home. Now, they looked into this girl. They took her story. Every time that they re-interviewed her, her story changed. So she wasn't not a very credible witness. They're not saying it wasn't Cindy, but every time this woman kept changing her story, so there's no proof that Cindy was in Philly 200 miles away. Lead detective Brian Sprinkle said Cindy's case was the biggest case at the time due to Penn State students go missing all the time but come back for Monday's classes. There's so many kids in college, their parents worry, they try to get a hold of them on a Friday. They can't get a hold of them. They try to look for them on Saturday, can't get a hold of them, and then they end up panicking, doing a missing persons report. Family ends up freaking out, and then on Monday they show up. So the police department now this is the thing. So they said it was the biggest case at this time because she never showed up for class. She has been gone for a few days. Her family is panicking, and the police department cuts contact with Cindy's family. Cuts contact with Cindy's family. Detective Sprinkles said he did it for Cindy's sake and not the family. The police blame the family for destroying evidence by cleaning her home, but police allowed the family in the home. Now, I don't know about me, but there would be no cop in any district that would cut ties with me if my child was missing. Absolutely not. Now, you got to remember that her mother ended up coming from Korea because her daughter was missing. She is freaking out. She's not from this country. Police are allowing her in her daughter's home. So they're considering it obviously not a crime scene. The police are obviously not considering it a crime scene because they're allowing people in and out of the home. Now, they decided that they were going to clean up her house, and now the cops are like, you cleaned up her house, so we're going to cut ties with you because you ruined evidence. How is that the family's fault? How is that anything to do with the family? That's the police. If you guys thought that it was a crime scene, but yet prior to that, you're saying that it looked like she left on her own. There was no foul play in her house. Didn't look like that. Didn't look like forced entry. You guys are allowing her family into the home and they clean it, and now you're going to cut contact with them and not give them anything, not tell them anything because they cleaned up the home? I find that crazy. Police were getting tips, but leads nowhere. They even called in a psychic. At one time, they were getting leads. They weren't going anywhere. They even tried a psychic to see, right, Lady K? I know. Isn't that crazy, sunny side up in Samara? I don't know. I don't know how you're going to blame a family member for cleaning up a house when it's your case and you're allowing them into the house. I would be coming unglued. There would be no cop anywhere that would not. I would go to the police department and I would pitch a tent in the room until they told me something. There would be no person in this world that would not give me access to my missing child. Like any information. I get that there's confidentiality and you can't give too much because it might hinder the case. I get that. But to completely cut off a family because they cleaned the house that you allowed them in, I think that's just crazy to me, right? So they also thought that maybe she possibly committed suicide. It was also explored. Now, her friends and family said absolutely not. She loved being in America. She loved being in school. She loved her friends. She had a boyfriend, but her and her boyfriend broke up like a month prior to her going missing, but they remained friends. She wasn't even upset that they broke up. It was just something that they weren't jiving together. They just were, they were better off friends. So they ended the relationship. And they said that there was no way that she would commit suicide. And I'm sorry, if somebody was to commit suicide, you find them. In my opinion, and I could be wrong, but most cases when somebody commits suicide, they commit suicide somewhere where somebody can find them, whether they leave a note or not. Whether they tell a family member they're sad or depressed. They're not going to walk out into nowhere to be found and commit suicide. I just don't believe that. And I've had a family friend that did commit suicide. She didn't leave a note, nothing. It took us a while to find her because she ended up jumping off a bridge and committing suicide. And eventually her body surfaced and that's how we knew. But we did a whole missing persons thing. I was on the news, everything. It was crazy. So I truly believe if somebody was going to commit suicide, they're going to commit suicide knowing eventually they would be found. Oh, thank you, Remy. Let's see. Then the police then they got a lead. The police got a lead on a convicted bank robber. So his name was Hugh Selinski. I don't know how to say. It's one of those ski names. So if I'm wrong, don't come after me. Sorry, I'm not great with big, long ski words. So he became a suspect when Hugh's associate turned police informant. His name was Paul Weekly. Paul told police Hugh and his friend Michael Kurzinski kidnapped Cindy, took her to Hugh's property, raped and killed her. Paul said Michael told him, and police said Paul gave a lot of accurate information. So police got a warrant to search Hugh's property. While searching the property, police found the remains of 12 people burned and buried in a pit in his backyard, but none of the 12 remains were Cindy. So this guy turned police informant, decided to rat out his two friends that are convicted bank robbers, and his story kind of matched up with things that they didn't release to the public. So they decided, okay, it seems pretty accurate. We're going to get a search warrant. They're going to get a search warrant. Hopefully they'll find Cindy. And instead they find 12 bodies in this guy's backyard. Hugh later admitted that him and Michael kidnapped and killed Cindy. He told police that he mistook Cindy in her costume as a prostitute. He claims that they took her and kept her in a walk-in safe where she died. Yes, 12, Remy. 12. 12 bodies were found. Now, so they said that Hugh said basically he kidnapped Cindy thinking she was a prostitute, thinking nobody was going to miss her. She's in his bunny suit. Now you guys got to remember, her bunny suit wasn't sexual, it was more cute. I seen the picture of her that they took the night of the party, and it wasn't like a sexy bunny as you guys would think. It was actually just a cute bunny suit. But she had, suede boots and a long jacket. And like we said, we think she walked to the store. So they thought she was a prostitute. Nobody was going to miss her. They kidnapped her. And boy, were they wrong, because she was not a prostitute. Yeah, not a Playboy bunny. No, not at all. So, and they just felt like, because they're prostitute, nobody was going to miss her. Well, so they took her, raped her, beat her, left her in a walk-in safe. Now that one confuses me. I don't know what a walk-in safe is, but that's what it says, a walk-in safe. And they would leave her there for days. They left her there for days. Beat her. Hey, Nanya. I think that's what I was thinking, Remy. Maybe a bank vault type safe, because you got to think they had to have a big safe. They were convicted bank robbers. So now police cannot get Michael's side. Okay, so now you guys got to remember, Paul, who turned police informant, said that Hugh and Michael kidnapped Cindy, thinking she was a prostitute, kept her in a vault. They get a search warrant, find out there's 12 people dead and buried and burned in Hugh's backyard. Now they want Michael's side, because Michael is the one that told Paul, not Hugh. So they want to get Michael's side before they kind of do anything with Hugh. But they can't find Michael. They can't find Michael anywhere. Come to find out, Michael was one of the 12 people buried in the backyard. Hugh said he killed him because he kept Cindy's bunny ears. He also killed Michael's girlfriend by strangling her. So, Michael and Hugh kidnapped Cindy together. I gotta stop my camera for a second. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay. So, yeah, right? So they do this murder together. Now, mind you, the 12 people in the backyard, not one of them is Cindy. But now the guy that helped Hugh kidnap Cindy and kill her, supposedly, is now dead in Hugh's backyard with his girlfriend. But Hugh's saying he killed Michael because Michael kept Cindy's bunny ears. And then he strangled the girlfriend because she watched Hugh kill her boyfriend. So he knew she was going to tell, so he strangled her. Now Hugh ended up being sentenced to 32.5 years to 65 years in 2003 for robbery. For robbery. Now, mind you, despite the 12 bodies in his backyard, he was acquitted of 2 murder charges when he went on trial in 2006 for shooting 2 drug dealers. But in 2015, he got life for killing Michael and his girlfriend. He strangled his girlfriend to death. Michael was a pharmacist who ran a drug ring. It's crazy. Now, mind you, they still have not found Cindy's body. So there's 12 bodies in his backyard. Nothing. He gets 65 years for robbery, not the 12 dead people in his backyard. He gets 65 years for robbery. And then they bring him to trial in 2006 for the guy that helped him supposedly murder Cindy and his girlfriend. And he ends up getting life for those. But the other 10 people, he gets nothing. Now, mind you, life is life, but still, how is he not charged with each and every one? Right? I find it crazy that Cindy still hasn't been found to this day. It's like she vanished into thin air. From what I read, it seems like their conduct with the family was questionable, cutting off the grieving family from the investigation, blaming the family for cleaning Cindy's apartment. I'd like to know if the apartment was properly cordoned off as a crime scene. Never saw police telling them they could not go in. The lack of coverage on this case is disappointing. A beautiful young college student disappeared without a trace on Halloween. A likely serial killer confessed to the crime, but none of the 12 bodies were her. So, we're going to take a serial killer's word. Now, we all know, like they were trying to say in a lot of the things that I was reading, they're trying to say, usually serial killers, they like to own up to crimes that they necessarily never committed. So, did he really kill Cindy? Did he really? He's in jail for life. Do you think they've gone back after all these years and questioned him more to see if he will give up her body or let her know? Now, mind you, out of these 12 bodies, he also said that all 12 bodies were not buried in his backyard at first. At first, he had buried them in the woods behind the school. behind a high school. He had buried them behind the high school, and then he would move them from behind the high school. He eventually moved them from behind the high school to his backyard. But none of them were Cindy. Do you think those police ever went to the high school to see if they could find Cindy's body? Nope, they haven't. Do you think that they've gone and questioned him more to try to get him to admit that he killed her and where she is? Nope. They basically said, in their eyes, this case is solved. He admitted it. Even though we can't find her body, he admitted it. So this case is closed. But really, this case isn't closed. The family tries to call to get information, and they can't, because they're blaming this poor family for compromising their crime scene by letting them into that home. Did I hear you say they didn't go and look in the... Yes, they did not. They did not go look. They did not go look at that high school to see if they could find Cindy's body. They basically have said, this case is solved. To me, I don't think this case is solved. And I'm mind blown that this case hasn't been, like, everybody I talked to has never heard of this case. That's why I was really shocked when I think it was Sunny Side Up that said she had heard about this case, because everybody I've talked to hasn't heard of this case. But yet there's a 21-year-old woman that went missing in 2001 and has never been found. Someone needs to reopen this case. I agree. Some of the research I did, they don't know why there isn't a podcast. Why this family isn't knocking on every news door, every YouTuber. Yeah, exactly, Remy. You Google it, hardly anything comes up. Anything. And the poor family does live in Korea. So they literally left with a broken heart, not knowing where their 21-year-old daughter is, and just taking the word of this police force that literally cut them out of this investigation and said, well, he's a serial killer, and he admitted it. And he said that the other guy had her bunny ears. So it's got to be true, right? It is crazy. It wasn't you that had never heard of it. I can't remember who said. Somebody came in the beginning and said this case was crazy. I can't remember who it was. I thought it was you, Sunnyside. Sorry. So part of me feels like, I don't know. I feel like I wish I could reach out to this family. I wish I could help this family be a voice, because it is 2020. There is no reason. Yes, supposedly he killed him over bunny ears. That's what he said. Because when they found Cindy dead in the vault that they left her in, Michael took the bunny ears as a souvenir, and that's why he killed him. Now, mind you, Michael was a pharmacist running a drug ring, and you got to think, Hugh, everybody he killed was pretty much in the drug industry. Almost all 12 bodies were people that were drug pushers, drug suppliers. He was killing them and taking their money and their drugs. Cindy wasn't anything like that. So part of me doesn't believe that Hugh is the one that did it. Part of me feels like I think he confessed to this murder because he wanted to be on TV. It was really popular when it first broke. She was 21, she was beautiful, she was from college. I think that he liked bragging. I mean, he's definitely a serial killer. He definitely had 12 bodies in his backyard. There's no doubt that he's a serial killer. But something, reading this case and reading the reasons why he killed his partner and the way that the cops have just kind of, it doesn't feel like he did it. What are you guys' thoughts? It says the cop found the foul slash, yes. Remy, you'll have to rewind, yes. They found her backpack in the bedroom with her cell phone. They found her fake eyelashes in the bathroom. But there was no forced entry. The only thing that was not found was the costume she was wearing in her purse. So they think that she left her home to go to a 24-hour gas station that she usually did. So they think she went there and she got abducted from her house to the gas station. Now, Hugh and Michael are, well, not Michael because Michael's dead, but Hugh is saying that he picked her up in the travels because of what she was wearing. He felt that she was a prostitute and nobody would question it. But out of the 12 people that were murdered, not one of them was a prostitute. So it's not like Hugh's MO. Hugh's MO wasn't about abducting prostitutes and murdering them. He was literally, all the 12 people that he murdered were drug pushers, were people that he robbed with and did drugs with, and that's who was buried in his backyard. There wasn't a prostitute buried in the backyard, so that makes no sense to me. Why would he abduct a prostitute when he never had before? So that makes no sense. Evil Abe, you love corn. I'm glad for you. I'm glad you like corn. It will help you digest your food better if you eat corn on the cob. I agree. Did you touch on the female witness who says, yes, I did. They are saying that her testimony was not credible because she kept changing her story. Yep, I did. I know, right, Samara? That's really nice, Evil Abe. I'm glad that you eat corn. I'm glad. How random. So what are you guys' thoughts? Sorry, I was driving and kept... No problem, Remy. I think the police dropped the bomb on this case. I really do. I really think that it does, oh geez. His buddy turned informant probably was scared he was going to be killed next and wanted to get him locked up. Good point, Lady K. I think that's exactly why he turned informant. Yep, the Paul guy. I think he turned informant on Hugh and Michael because I think he knew Michael was already dead. Because when he turned informant and told them, they got the search warrant for Hugh's premises, found the 12 bodies, then looked for Michael and couldn't find Michael, and come to find out, Michael was one of the 12 in the backyard. So I think Paul knew. But the cops aren't re-questioning him. No, the cops aren't doing anything. This is literally sitting in a file in the back room collecting dust because in their eyes, Hugh confessed. We don't need a body. He confessed to it. But all he confessed to is a woman in a bunny. He could have read that through the news that she was wearing a bunny costume. There wasn't, to me, it didn't look like he gave anything that wasn't in the news, but they took it. They didn't do their job. I think, as Diane says, a strongly worded letter is needed. Yeah, I mean, it just breaks my heart. This case, that's the reason why I wanted to do this case, is because this poor family lives in Korea, never been to America before in their life, come in, the cops basically tell them, we're not giving you anything, you ruined the investigation, get out. They don't know how to fight. They don't know how to get lawyers. They live in South Korea. They don't know how to do any of that. So they just went home brokenhearted. And their daughter is still missing. And they don't even get to have peace. And the cops are like, our job's done. He confessed. No, your job's not done. Your job's not done until you find this woman and bring her home to her family. It just breaks my heart, because most cases that I read, yeah, there's some cases that I do that are unsolved. But at least the police department did their job and exhausted every avenue there was. And that's the reason why it's unsolved. So I get that. But this case is unsolved because you took the word of a serial killer. But as everybody knows, serial killers don't forget their killings. They don't forget where they buried them, what they did with them. Even if he burnt her in the backyard, they still would have found some sort of remains, because that's how they found some of the other ones. There was nothing. I say give them a polygraph, even though there's not admissible, just to see. That's a good idea, Remy. Hey, Lufa. I just wish there was more I could do other than alive. I really would love to get this case back the fire it deserves. Like, if he did it, okay, he did it. But I just don't think there's enough evidence, or I don't know. Just for me, I wouldn't take that lying down. But I'm from America. I know how to not give up. They're from Korea. I don't think they know how to. I think they just believed in the police and took their word and went home. And part of me is like, how can I get a hold of them? How can I fire this up more? I want to know, did he really do it? And if he did it, he's got to know where he put her. You can't tell me he doesn't know where he put her. And he murdered the guy that did it with him. It starts, though, social media is the best way to spread the word. You're right. And I hope I can spread the word. Because this case definitely struck a nerve with me, It's not like a regular case that I've done. It just feels like, yeah, I've seen cases where police have dropped the ball. Absolutely. We've seen it time and time and time again. And then we've seen cases where the police don't give up. But I think this is far beyond just dropping the ball. I just feel like this is more than just dropping the ball. I pray for the family too. They definitely. Hey, Ritka, Ace. I'll call you Ace because I'm gonna always screw up your first name. So I'm just gonna call you Ace if you don't mind. Hello, Ace. So yeah, so I just feel like this is just a crazy case. When I found it, it blew my mind to know that they find 12 bodies in his backyard, but yet he gets sentenced to 65 years for robbery, not even the 12 murders he did in the backyard. Like, wait a second. She went missing in 2001, and it took them to 2003 to convict him of robbery? And then in 2006, out of 12 people, they picked 2 people to get him for murder on? There's 12 people back there. And you do it for the guy that supposedly helped him kill Cindy and his girlfriend. Yeah, he got life. I'm glad. That man deserves to be behind bars for the rest of his life. He doesn't deserve to walk these streets. So yeah, I'll give you props. You did good by putting him away for the rest of his life. But I'm sorry, I just feel like Cindy deserves more than him put behind bars. She deserves to go home. She deserves to be found and put to rest where her family can have some peace. Yet the police department is completely fine with this. It just blows my mind, and that's why I picked this case to do. And tomorrow, I'm doing another case, if I can get it done quick enough, because I'm trying to find cases that I can do fairly quickly, because as we all know, as I've told you guys, it takes a lot of research to do cases. So I'm trying to find ones that are based around Halloween, because it's Halloween, Moonoween month. Moonoween month. So I want to do it based on Halloween. And like I told you guys, I'm going to try to go live every day other than Sundays. Sundays are my family day. I'm taking that day for me. Mondays, we will not be doing a crime live. We'll be doing, for anybody that watches Walking Dead and is a fan of Walking Dead, Mondays, I think I'm going to do a Walking Dead recap, because I love Walking Dead. So I know it's not everybody's favorite, but I love it. So I think Mondays, maybe I'll do like Mondays during the day, a Walking Dead recap, and then Monday night I might do a crime. I haven't figured that out yet. What do her friends Stacy and Lisa say? Did they notice anyone? No. Lisa didn't go with them. Lisa stayed at the house. Thank you, Sunny Sign Up. Moonoween! That's because of my kids. Isn't it cute? I think it's going to stick. Lisa did not go. Lisa stayed at the house that they were collecting, playing video games at. Stacy is the only one that drove her home that night. Stacy drove her home. She got out of the car. Stacy stayed in the car. She waved to her through the window. Stacy waved back, and Stacy drove off. So Stacy didn't see anything. You love Walking Dead? I love Walking Dead. So yes, Mondays, I want to do recap from the night, Sunday night Walking Dead. So I haven't figured out how I'm going to do it yet. So anybody that is a Walking Dead fan, it comes on this Sunday. I'm so excited, so excited. So I'll be doing that this coming Monday for the first one. No way did they think she was a sex worker, especially since she was home. Exactly. I mean, they think she did leave her home because her keys, her purse, and her outfit, and her shoes, and her jacket were not found. Now, the other thing, I could not find anything to see if they pulled surveillance from the 24-hour store. I could not find anything. I looked and looked and looked and looked to see if she even made it to that store. Or is that just an assumption that they had because her friend said she likes to go to that store at night? And sometimes, it's only right down the road, so they could see her leaving her phone, running out real quick to get a soda or a snack or whatever and going right back home. But I could not find anything to say that they pulled surveillance to see if she ever made it to the store. Did she? I mean, really, we don't even know if she left on her own. Did she even leave the house? Did it happen inside her house? Because, yeah, the cops searched it on November 6th, and that's when they found her eyelashes and her backpack with her cell phone. But they said there was no forced entry, and it didn't look like there was a struggle. But right after that, they allowed the family into that home, and the family cleaned. And then after the fact, the cops are like, you ruined it. You ruined the crime scene. You cleaned her apartment. So now we're not telling you anything. We're cutting you out of this investigation. Did she have to lock the door with a key from the outside? It didn't say, Remy. As you saw, there wasn't much on this case. There really isn't. I had to dig and dig and dig to get what I got. But her friends said that she was very cautious and she would always lock her home. She never left it unlocked. I bring my phone everywhere, even when I walk outside my house to the backyard. I'm the same way, sunny side up. So if I ever go missing and my cell phone's here, something happened. Because I don't go anywhere without my cell phone. Nowhere. But like I said, it was 4 a.m. and she was drunk. They said she was a little intoxicated when Stacy dropped her off, which you can see. I mean, they partied all night. They partied till 2 o'clock at the club. They left the club. They went to a friend's house, played video games till 4 a.m. So she had a little buzz on. She was slightly intoxicated. Could I see her going home, putting everything down, pulling off her lashes, thinking about climbing into bed, and realized, you know what, I'm hungry. I got a buzz on and I'm hungry and the store is right down the street. I'm just going to walk, get myself a snack, eat it, and pass out. Can I see it? I can. So I'm okay with that to a point, but there was no proof that she even made it to that store. And why would the police get so mad if they were dead set that she left that house and went to the store? Why did the police let that family into the house and then freak out because the family cleaned the house? Makes you wonder, right? Makes you wonder why they did it to begin with. Why would they allow this family in the house and then freak out afterwards? Yeah, they definitely did drop the ball. They did. And I don't think that my little old channel is going, I mean, I hope, I would love for my little old channel to hopefully spark a different investigation, go question him, like Remy said, even polygraph him. You know, I would love for that to happen, but we all know that's probably not going to happen. This case is going to continue to be solved, unsolved. I mean, why didn't they pull Paul back in and question him more on what Michael had told him? You know, he gave him a little saying they kidnapped her and killed her. Well, if you know they kidnapped her and killed her, did Michael tell you where they put her? But instead, they just took Hugh's confession that he did it. Yeah, I did it. She died in the vault. And that was it. Because one of their own are in on it. Just kidding. The whole thing is very, very sad and frustrating. It is. Safety was the first thing I went over with them. Safety is always first. I taught them with a Red Ryder BB gun. Yep, I had a Red Ryder BB gun when I was a kid. My mom always taught me, somebody grabs you, you kick them, scream, scratch, whatever you can do to make enough noise. Do whatever, poke them in the eyeballs, anything you can. What is one of them was an informant to the cops regarding the drugs and the murder? They were. Paul was. That's how they found Hugh and Michael to begin with, because their friend Paul became an informant. And that's when Paul came in and said, Cindy, they murdered Cindy. And so they got a search warrant of Hugh's house and found the 12 bodies in the backyard. But then they wanted to question Michael and could not find him, and come to find out, Michael was one of them in the backyard. I use lawn darts. Ooh, loofah. Those things are big. You can really whip those things. They got the big old, what is it, flights? Those are good weapons. I have really good resting bitches. Aw, Goofa, you are beautiful. I'll use anything. I don't care. I'll use anything. Anything and everything. But I usually have something on me. I usually do. Even though I live in a small town and it's a small country town, you never know. People are crazy nowadays. Crazy, crazy. But my mom always, my mom always was one of those parents that don't get in the car with anybody. If somebody pulls over saying about a lost dog, don't get close to their car where they can, and whatever you do, run, scream, pinch, poke, kick, whatever you can to get away. I don't know. This case just really broke my heart for the family, because I can picture it. I can picture these people coming from South Korea, never been in the States a day in their life. They're coming to the States because their daughter is missing. Her mother is coming completely frantic, doesn't understand this country, coming in here to find out where her daughter is and what happened to her daughter, not knowing where to go, getting permission from the police to stay in her daughter's home. And she decides to pick it up because if her daughter comes home, she wants her house nice and clean. Because my mother does that. I can see it. My mom comes and stays with my dogs and my kids, and my mother cleans my whole house. Half the time it's rearranged. You know, I come home and my living room is not my living room anymore, but cannot speak our language exactly. So she comes home thinking her daughter's going to be fine. I'm just going to tidy up her house. And then the cops come and say, you touched her house, so we're not going to give you any more information. And then for them to say, oh, a serial killer admitted to killing your daughter, but we don't know where your daughter's remains are. Go back to South Korea. Have a nice day. That's how I picture it. Yes, she came here when she was 15. Yes. She came here in 1995 at the age of 15. She got kidnapped in 2001. She was 21 years old. Halloween night. She was 21. She came from South Korea in 1995 to live with her aunt and uncle. Cops are, well, not all cops are corrupt. Some cops are corrupt. Some cops are. Part of me was thinking for Halloween, I don't know what I'm going to do for Halloween night. I want to do something. I don't know if I want to do, I want to kind of dress up, I think, and maybe do a crime or just have fun that night. I don't know yet. I was going somewhere with that, and I can't remember where I was going. What got me to think? It will come back to me. Nobody sponsored her. She had an aunt and an uncle that lived here. So she came to live with the aunt and uncle. Yep, so young, left her home country looking for a better future, and she loved America. She felt free here. Isn't that sad? I can't remember where I was going with that, guys. I don't know. I was going somewhere. I lost it. I lost it. God, I look like a hot mess tonight. I apologize, guys. It's cold here. It's very cold. I had to turn my heat on today just to get the chill out because it was so cold. Oh, thank you, Samara. Thank you for dropping that. That means a lot. Yes, I was talking about dressing up, but there was something I was going to go with on that. There was a reason. Oh, thank you, Nanya. I don't feel marvelous. You're crazy, Remy. It's freezing. I got my Wilmington Fire Department hoodie on because my nephew is a Wilmington firefighter in Delaware. And this is his sweater. Well, a sweater. I know. I hate it when that happens. Oh, Lufa, I want to come where you are. It's 100 degrees. I want to go there. You can come here. It's only, what is it? I think it's like, I forgot what it was going to get down to tonight. Like in the 30s, I think. I think it was going to get into the 30s tonight. So I'll trade with you. I love cold weather. I love fall. Now, don't get me wrong. I love fall because it's cold, but not too cold. And it's good where you can wear a sweatshirt and, you know, some sweatpants and sit near the, have a fire in the backyard. And, you know, I love it where it's, you're not sweating to death, but you're not freezing to death. I love fall. If I could find a state that did summer, spring, and fall all the time, that would be the state I would want to move to. I can't do winter. Winter, the 20 degrees, negative 10 degrees. I'm not down for that. Shoveling, as much as snow is beautiful, it really is, especially the first snowfall. It's absolutely beautiful. I can do one snowfall. Usually, I would like, if I had to pick, it would be Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve, let it snow. Christmas Day, let it be white and beautiful, and then go away. Don't come back. That's how I feel. I don't do well. And I think it's because of all the surgeries I've had. My 3 neck surgeries, my lower back surgery. I'm supposed to get my hips done, but I've been blowing that off because the recovery for hips are way too long for my liking. So I think, and so when winter hits, I get so cold, it like goes deep into my bones and I can't warm up for the life of me. So I become like a hermit inside my house because I don't want to leave because it's too darn cold out. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was looking at the weather for you guys. That's what I was doing. Weather. It is 49 degrees, so it's not too bad, but it's going to get as low as 37 degrees tonight. And for the weekend, we're going to be in the low 60s. I can handle that. I can handle that. That's a great time to go out onto the family land and walk the dogs and everything, but we can't do that this weekend. Shucks. I'm in Boston, we're frozen. The gutter, I'm only 45 minutes from you, so I feel you. I am frozen too. I'm only like 45 minutes from you. Not even. But I can't walk the dogs this weekend in the... Hello, gutter. I can't walk the dogs because I don't know if I told you guys. I know I told a couple of people, but last weekend, Saturday, me and my husband were going away for my anniversary. I'm sure you guys remember that. And it was for one night. My mom got us a room at Hampton Beach, right on the ocean. It was beautiful. We had a great time. Well, right before we left, my dog, stray cat, a cat came into my yard, and my dog was laying on the couch on the porch, and he went to jump down, and his nail got caught, and it ended up ripping, and he started bleeding, and we were freaking out, and we stopped the bleeding. We weren't even going to go on vacation because if we couldn't stop the bleeding, we were going to a vet. Well, we got it to stop bleeding. It was spliced down the side. I called the vet, and they said, well, he's probably going to lick it off. Just let him lick it. You know, it will fall off. They said, but we worry about infection. So you got to really keep an eye on him. I said, okay, well, can I get an appointment? That way we can start him on antibiotics. Of course. Was there any openings? No. They were completely booked. The only thing I could do was an emergency visit. Well, an emergency visit, as everybody knows, at a vet is way more money because it's an emergency visit. And it wasn't really an emergency type thing. If his whole nail had popped up and I couldn't stop it bleeding, absolutely. But it wasn't worth an emergency visit. So they were like, well, do you want us to put you on the cancellation list. Yes, please. Now that was Saturday. Here it is Friday, and they still haven't called me. Still haven't called me, but I've been keeping him home, keeping him low key where he's not limping. He's not limping on it. He's playing, he's eating, he's drinking. Everything seems fine. He's not warm or anything, but I don't want to take him into the woods until it starts to heal because I don't want it to get infected. So, no walk for him this weekend. Yes, all vets I'm taking referrals. Girl just went through it. Expensive as fuck. Right? It is. Oh my God, my pump had a kennel cough. Angel Memorial legit. $300 to walk in the threshold. That is crazy. It's crazy. Lufa, we're all coming to your house. You better have room, girl, and a stiff drink, because I really need one. It's been crazy. I'll bring the edibles. Yes, Nunya. Nunya's got the edibles. Woo woo. Can you see Nunya? Hi. For everybody that knows Nunya, could you imagine Nunya high? That would be a riot. My dog just had surgery. Talk about expensive. I want to be able to put my dog as a dependent. Right, Lufa? We should be allowed to. And I'm telling you, I don't know why everybody isn't a vet. The money they have to make is insane. I think everybody should change their profession to a vet. Are you close to Salem? I am, Samara. Let me see. I will GPS it right now to see exactly how far I am. Hold on. From where I am to Salem, Mass. I am an hour and 28 minutes from Salem. From my door to Salem. Maybe that's what I'll do, Samara. Wouldn't that be cool? Would you guys like that? Like Halloween? Well, maybe not Halloween because it's my grandbaby's like second Halloween. Her first one, she was a baby and it really wasn't fun, but now she's 2 and she is so excited to go trick-or-treating, and our town just said that as long as we don't have any more virus outbreaks, we could have Halloween. And she wants to be a vampire. That is what my 2-year-old granddaughter wants to be. Either a vampire or a ghost. She cracks me up. So I definitely couldn't do it on Halloween because I have to see her. But I could go maybe the weekend before, maybe like on a Saturday, and I could go live while I'm at Salem and show you all the cool stuff, because we know in October they really go out in Salem. They really set up, but I don't know if anything's gonna, with the stupid virus, I don't know if they're gonna have anything open, like to be able to walk around, because some of the buildings, they allow you to go in and tour and they tell you a story and stuff. But even just to walk around and look at the stuff from the outside, that would be awesome. And I mean, that's nothing. An hour and 28 minutes? I could do that. And you guys could all join me. Maybe the Gutta could meet me there. Me and the Gutta will go. The Gutta could meet me there and we could do a live. I probably could call and find out. Let me look. Salem. Mass. Salem, Mass is the city on the north coast of Massachusetts above Boston. It's famous for its 1692 witch trials, during which several locals were executed for allegedly practicing witchcraft. There's the museum. The Peabody Museum has a massive collection of global arts and artifacts. Plan a trip. Salem's Travel Guide. Salem's Witch Museum. Ooh, that looks cute. The Salem Witch Museum. Let's see. They're open on Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. And there is a phone number. Oop, COVID alert. Event information may be out of date due to the COVID. Confirm details with an event organizer. So I'll have to call. But even if I go and just walk around the town, I mean, even to see all the stuff outside would be cool. Because they have it all lit up and stuff at, during this time of year. Like, can I show you guys this picture? Let me see. Where did it go? There it is. Look, they have a pumpkin of the Hocus Pocus girls. I don't know if you guys can see it. See the pumpkin? It's the picture of the Hocus Pocus girls under the Salem Witch. This was just taken. It's pretty cool. Let's see. What did you guys say? I spend my last dollar. I would too, Lufa. I don't know what I would do without my animals. I have 2 dogs and 2 cats. And my cat is getting up there. He's 13. My oldest dog is 8. They're getting up there and it makes me so sad. Yes, the Gutta would be a hoot, right? I don't know if the Gutta's still in here. Eagle, you are grounded. How dare you be late? How dare you be late to my live? Nanya, if rye goes bad, it makes you hallucinate. Like magic mushroom hallucinate, Lufa? Okay, Remy, thank you for coming in. Like, right, Nanya, like shrooms? Not that this should be a conversation for live, but Lufa, me and you gotta talk. We gotta talk on the down low. Look it up, it's true. Ah, Eagle, I'm sorry. I saw your house is going crazy. I'm sorry. But I know that Diane and Wendy are going live, and I know a lot of people like, sorry, I just turned off my light. LaDonna! Hey, girl! So I hope everybody joins me for the Moonoween live tomorrow night with me, Jenna Moon. I am going to be here all month long and maybe longer. But if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you haven't hit the like or the dislike, please do both. And I hope you all have a fabulous evening. And I thank you guys all for coming in and supporting me. It means so much to me. And you guys definitely brightened up my evening. I love coming live and seeing you guys all here. I will definitely look into Salem and let you guys know. I'm thinking if I'm going to do it, it's going to be the 24th. It will be the Saturday before Halloween. So I'll let you know. But thank you guys for all coming in. I love you all. You guys are all amazing. Everybody stay healthy, stay happy, and stay you. Love y'all. Sorry you came in so late, Eagle, but I'll talk to you later. But have a good night, guys. Bye. Okay, LaDonna, great. Yeah, have a wonderful night. Moonoween! I love it. All right, bye, guys.